Thursday, October the 1st edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. Tons to discuss this morning. We'll begin with a look back at the highs from yesterday, and it was a very warm day. Highs well into the 80s. We had a decent amount of sunshine work in for an extended period of time. That was kind of nice to see. That's something we are not going to see a lot of now over the next several days. Highs in the Triad area, a lot of mid-80s on the board. Around the Charlotte area yesterday, same deal, a lot of mid-80s there for our Wednesday afternoon. Now, changes underway. There's your temperatures during the 5 o'clock hour this morning. Cold fronts move through in this northeasterly flow, very much established now, and so a lot of the Piedmont zones will actually have steady or even falling temperatures. In fact, I think a lot of folks up here in the northern Piedmont here will be down into the 50s by the time the afternoon is said and done for today. Scattered showers have been occurring overnight, but watch the rain here really gathering offshore near that frontal boundary now. That is a sign of things to come. And through the night, of course, we've been tracking Joaquin. Been watching this reconnaissance flight that's now completed. But earlier, that reconnaissance flight measured a wind speed of 129 miles per hour and a pressure down into the 940s. So Joaquin, a very intense Category 3 hurricane. I'll give you all the stats on Joaquin in just a moment. Now, we have a flash flood watch in effect for much of North Carolina up into a good chunk of Virginia. And this will undoubtedly be expanded to include other areas as we go forward in time, and the certainty in this forecast increases. But there is still a lot of uncertainty with some of the details here. But the basic idea is this. Again, today the northeasterly winds are with us, steadier falling temperatures, some showers a possibility. I think the lion's share of the rain today over in the eastern parts of the Carolinas, and then this fire hose of activity that today is in the eastern part of the Carolinas moves back here tonight and into tomorrow. Highs today in many spots occurring this morning, and the steadier falling temperatures. There's your low pressure developing along that front off the Georgia and South Carolina coast, and then look at that rain just piling into much of North Carolina and the eastern half of South Carolina tomorrow. A very, very cool day across the region in addition to all the rain falling. And then here's Futurecast, and this ends Saturday night, Saturday after the evening hour. So these are the rains on Futurecast that occur between now and Saturday evening. Couple of variables here. This is the GFS model, and what you'll notice here, this is mid-morning Saturday, and then as you get into Sunday, the axis of heavy rain shifts down to South Carolina, and then by Monday it's basically over in terms of rain here in the Carolinas. Now on the European model it's a little different. Now these are the GFS model rain totals, so you end up with the heaviest totals down into South Carolina, some 8 to 12 inch totals down that way, 2 to 5 inches over much of North Carolina. And then on the European, it's a little bit of a different scenario. Again, here we go. As you get into Saturday, the rain continues Saturday night, and then even on into Sunday, and even Monday, still rain occurring in parts of the region. And so for that reason, you get some bigger rain totals on the European computer model. I mean, these are astronomical totals. If these totals occur, these would be huge, huge problems that were presented. And it's just due to the duration of the rain. You have this upper level low pivoting down that moves a little bit slower. And so basically it's a deformation band almost. It sets up on the north end of this. And that's why you end up with the rain that's cranking so much in northern South Carolina and southern North Carolina on the European model. That's an extreme solution. But it is within the realm of possibility if that upper level low behaves in just the fashion the European is showing. So the flooding potential, very real across the region. And exactly how much rain we see will depend on where that axis of heavy rain sets up and how long it extends into the weekend or early next week. Now, this is the 5 a.m. advisory on Joaquin. Joaquin has continued to strengthen. It is a healthy-looking hurricane, and it's really battering the Bahamas. Category 3, 120-mile-per-hour sustained winds. Hurricane warnings up for many spots in the Bahamas, and due to the slow movement, I tell you what, the central Bahamas just are going to get hammered here, unfortunately. This is a devastating situation there. And then down the road, tons of uncertainty with still where this is going to head. The European model has been offshore, and it remains offshore over here, even close to Bermuda. A lot of the modeling, though, still shows this bend back to the west toward the Carolina coast. I'll show you a couple of specific examples here in just a moment. Here's the official National Hurricane Center forecast for Joaquin, staying off the Carolina coast barely, and then kind of grazing up toward the Delmarva Peninsula or New Jersey. But obviously, that cone of uncertainty extends all the way from the North Carolina coast over here in the Atlantic. And again, the European model solutions even east of that. So there's a wide envelope of possibilities. Now, if you just take the GFS model here, this is what it shows. There it goes offshore and then bending back toward the mid-Atlantic and the northeast from there. Couple specific examples here. This is the Navy NavGem model, and this is the furthest south. This takes us into the South Carolina coast, and that's kind of the southern end of the range of the model solutions this morning. This is, well, stand by. This is the GFDL model, which takes us into eastern North Carolina Sunday morning. And then here's the Hurricane Wharf, which also takes us into the North Carolina coast Saturday evening and to Saturday afternoon. And again, you have solutions even on the European model, which are way off to the east. And that's a valid solution. So there's really a ton of uncertainty still with where Joaquin eventually winds up heading. And all those solutions are on the table. I guess I would lean more toward that eastern solution now since the GFS has shifted in that direction. But it's far from a certainty. And anybody from the South Carolina coast on up through the northeast needs to closely monitor Joaquin's progress in coming days. All right, that's it for today. Everybody have a great day, and God bless.